Hi fans of high quality entertainment. I'm ranking and reviewing all of Paul's albums, including Wings. And up next is Ram from 1971. And as always, I try and give you, if I have any memory of the album when it was released, give you those thoughts. So I was 58, 68, 70, 13 years old when Ram came out. And actually my first memory, I think before Ram was released, Paul released his very first single, Another Day, backed with Oh Woman, Oh Why, which I believe one of my older brothers bought, but I was able to hear it. And I think that's, back then, McCartney I liked, but I wasn't thinking later on I would rate it so highly. I gave it a 9 out of 10 in my previous review. But Another Day was such a great Paul song. It sounded like Paul McCartney was back. It was kind of Beatlesque, right? And the B-side, Oh Woman, Oh Why, right away, or almost right away, I love that song so much. And even today, I think it might even be in my top 10 all-time favorite Paul McCartney songs, or at least top 20. And it's included in the Ram box set from the archive edition. So when Ram did come out, once again, I didn't buy it. One of my older brothers bought it, but I did hear it, and I really did like it, much more than McCartney at the time. And through the years, I'm pretty sure I bought it on vinyl and then later on CD. And like I said, I liked it. Going over the songs, I loved Too Many People, which back in the early 70s, I didn't know it was at least a partial shot at John with his song, How Do You Sleep from Imagine. And loved Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey. Smile Away, I wasn't too sure about. I thought it was a bit too silly. Even though the Beatles did silly songs themselves. Monkberry Moon Delight was totally different, of course, with Paul and those vocals on that track. And The Backseat of My Car, the final song, that was maybe for quite a few years one of my least favorite songs on Ram. I just didn't get it, I guess. But when this archive edition came out a few years back, I just had a new appreciation for Ram. And I would say, I'm not sure if in time, well, let's get to the songs first before I rate it or rank it. So like I said, Too Many People, love Paul's vocals, Linda's background vocals, which I read sometimes online that Linda wasn't a good singer and kind of ruined the album, which is totally silly. She's, a good chunk of Ram is thanks to Linda and her background vocals. And of course the band he had. Three Legs. 3 Legs, not 2 Legs. 3 Legs is great. Ram On is cute. Dear Boy. That's another one I kind of warmed up to over the years, and I love the production of it. It's got a Beach Boys type, with all the vocals, and the production on this is totally different from McCartney. It's a real production, and I think it's amazing. And Smile Away, I've really grown to love that song. It is so silly, but it's a fun song, and it rocks too. Heart of the Country is a typical nice Paul McCartney song. It is excellent. Monkberry Moon Delight, his vocals on that, he must have really shredded his vocals. I wonder if he was hurting afterwards. But it's a fun song, and maybe, it might be a little annoying for some people, but I love it. Now, Eat at Home is great. Long-haired lady. I used to think the ending kind of dragged a bit, but like I said, through the years, I've grown to just love this album so much. I think it's a masterpiece. And then a little repeat of Ram On. And the backseat of my car, I don't know, but like I said, when this archive edition came out, hearing it on headphones, there was just a point where it hit me. Paul's vocals on that are so good. I think as great as the song is, the last minute or so is one of the greatest minutes in music for me. And so it's a amazing album. And I'm easily going to rate it a 10 out of 10, and it is, for me, a masterpiece. I had somebody, if I remember, I'll post it here, they commented on my McCartney review. I gave it a 9 out of 10. And once in a blue moon you get this music fan, how could you rate it this when Band on the Run? It's like, well, it's my rating, buddy. It's not yours. And I don't mind comments where you say, yeah, I'm not a fan of Ram. I give it a 6 out of 10, which is a little strange, but it's your opinion, right? Just don't say everybody's got their own opinions on music. My opinion is it's a masterpiece. And I play a lot of Paul McCartney albums, not just Ram, but I would say I play Ram throughout the year. Every few weeks I play Ram. I played it last night. Not that I don't know the album really well, but before I do the review, just refresh my little brain. And Paul was, I think, slowly getting out of his depression from after the Beatles breakup and trying to figure out his own solo career, of course. And he was really bashed for McCartney. And of course, when Ram came out, it had a negative review in Rolling Stone magazine. But at that time, I think it was on purpose. From what I read, it was actually a good review for Ram. And then, what's his name, the owner of Rolling Stone at the time was, of course, on he was on John Lennon's side for interviews and sucking up to him. So he got somebody to do a negative review on Ram. And that kind of maybe stayed with us Beatles fans, because I do remember it not being that well received. But my brothers and I, we really liked the album. And through the years, it has just grown and grown and grown in stature to the point where it's considered by some, not all, but some, to be his best album, along with Band on the Run and 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 others. If I was going to pick 3 of my favorite songs, I gotta say Too Many People. They're all great, though. Of course, The Backseat of My Car, that would be number 1. And Monkberry Moon Delight. My least favorite, I know it's easy to say that, the 55-second, Ram On, sorry. I just realized that Ram On, there's 2 that are exactly titled Ram On. But the 55-second Ram On could have been my least favorite, but I'll choose a full song. And my least favorite full song would be Eat at Home, but I still love the song. Yeah, the bonus audio on this, besides Another Day and Oh Woman, Oh Why, there's some excellent bonus tracks. And one especially called Road All Night, which is 8 minutes 44 seconds. It's Denny Sewell and Paul McCartney, and they're just rocking out on that song. It's really, really cool. Picture of Paul. And I always love the artwork of the original vinyl record. Very homey, of course. So what else to say about Ram? I just think what Paul McCartney is, besides John Lennon, especially in the Beatles years, Paul is along with John, he's my favorite all-time singer. And I think Ram is one of his best for his vocals throughout. And you can hear he's having fun. The whole band is having fun on this album. And so for my ranking, it's easily, at the moment, number one. And I know somebody commented recently they think Ram is going to stay at number one for me. I think it is, but like I said, I'm going to take my time with some of the albums I don't know as well. And I do love Band on the Run, Venus and Mars and all that. So who knows? I'm going to listen to them a few times. And so at the moment, it's number one, and McCartney is number two. And Ram is a 10 out of 10 for me. I would love your thoughts in the comment section below about Ram. And thanks for watching. Please remember to like the video and make sure you're subscribed to both of my channels. I'm ranking and reviewing all of the Beach Boys albums on my Canadian Studmuffin channel. Goodbye. Ram on.